Hi, I'm Brandt Mannchen, and I work to protect natural areas in Houston, Texas. Well, I'm a volunteer for the Houston Sierra Club, and I come out to Heron Park here in Shore Acres, Texas. And it's a real interesting place because you have three different ecosystems coming together. You have the marshes, you have the prairie, and you have the savanna coming together. And so what I'm doing is helping to restore this area and perpetuate those ecosystems. I heard about this park and saw it, and then I brought a group of Sierra Club folks down here to start working on this. And we've been down a couple of times, and also just on my own, I've come down here on numerous occasions. It's just a beautiful place. And when we first got here a couple of years ago and started working on this area, you know, there were a whole lot more shrubs out here, and we've sort of removed or cut back the shrubs. And now the grass and the wildflowers are slowly taking over. They're now more able to compete. And what we've been doing here is, you can see these shrubs right here. These shrubs grew in and started shading out the marsh grass. So we've been cutting, and we've cut from over there by that mulberry tree all the way to here to allow those marsh grasses to come back. It's all volunteer work. So the type of things we do is, besides cutting vegetation, various grasses and wildflowers have been planted here. On the other side where we have the forested area, species that would normally be here have been brought in and planted. The trails have been laid here and kept open so that people can walk and enjoy this area. And so a lot of volunteer labor of love has gone into this to keep this a natural park.
I've known Brandt for about 35 years. We worked together for many years and in the same building, both belong to the Sierra Club. He's been an activist for as long as I've known him. While he was working, he was still very active in the environmental field, even in his off time. And then when he retired, he's worked probably more than full-time in his activism.
I do several things. I do these service projects like with Heron Park. Also, like tomorrow, I'm going to go out to a prairie that's threatened by development, and we're going to collect seed so we can keep the specific local variations of grasses and wildflowers and grow them out and keep them in this area and replant them in various places. I also do a lot of work, unfortunately, at the computer, which is much less rewarding, but it's needed nonetheless. I analyze big, thick federal, state, and local documents and provide comments on those, and try to get various agencies like the U.S. Forest Service or the Fish and Wildlife Service or the Park Service or the Corps of Engineers to do the right thing, to be greener, to, when they have a project, to make sure that it has as little environmental impact as possible. So I do a variety of different things.
We've been working on several different things together throughout the last couple years. He's been very helpful, always willing to jump in and help us with whatever we have going on. I work with Galveston Baykeeper, and Brandt's always been there for us every time we had a question. He's always volunteering his time. He's very educated in the outdoors. We use him as a resource all the time, and he's just been a wonderful person, a wonderful mentor. Always, like I said, he's always, outside, spending numerous hours and money that he's worked hard for all his life, and donating it back for a good cause for nature.
The critters and the plants and the ecosystems, they can't speak for themselves, and someone has to speak for them. And I'm very fortunate that I get to be one of those people who gets to speak for all the other members of the community of life that we share this wonderful world with. We forget that it's not just humans here, but it's everything else, and all those other things are important to us because they help make it possible for us to live. So I feel like I'm kind of not only giving back to nature, but giving back to humans too. If I didn't have that, I don't know where I would be today. It has literally saved my life because it gives me something to believe in and something to fight for. And so for me, protecting these wild places, fragmented though they may be, is really important. And it's what helps drive me to do all the work that I do. I've been doing this work for about 40 years now, and so it means a lot to me.